Hello everyone, my name is Cooper Billingsley, and today I'm going to try and explain the complex relationship between the city of Lynchburg and Liberty University. Living in Lynchburg and talking to different locals about Liberty University, there always seemed to be a little bit of annoyance towards the university. Whether it was the student drivers or the university being too big for the area, there always seemed to be a little bit of disdain for the university. And I want to kind of figure out where that came from. So in this project, I'm going to try and take you through the roots of the issues, what people like, what they don't like about Liberty, and how the locals of Lynchburg really feel about Liberty University. So to get to the bottom of this complex relationship, I decided to go out into the city of Lynchburg, talk to locals on the street, talk to people in the different universities, and talk to politicians to try and see what the issues are, where they come from, and what the potential solutions for these issues are. But before we dive into things, there are a few misconceptions we need to address regarding the city of Lynchburg and Liberty University. First off, I found there was a consistent belief across the board that Lynchburg was becoming more and more red, more and more Republican as Liberty got bigger. The thinking is that Liberty attracts a bunch of conservatives and they come to the university, they graduate, and then they get jobs out in the area and eventually vote Republican. However, the voting records show that the city of Lynchburg voted for a Democratic president, Joe Biden, for the first time since FDR in 1940. Another major misconception is that the economics of Liberty don't affect the greater area of Lynchburg. But we'll have more on this later. For now, let's see what the people of Lynchburg think. So how would you describe the relationship between Liberty University and the community of Lynchburg?
I think they have a really good relationship, and I think Liberty's very big. In Lynchburg, it's everywhere.
From our limited exposure, I think it's a solid school, great values. Obviously, it's a religious college. Very positive.
I would say positive and a more family-oriented / close-knit feel.
Okay.
When everybody comes to visit the town, for the most part, they are in families. They go see the games. We got families out here that's eating currently, and everybody in here, it feels like more community-based. So it's a small town, but still a lot of people inside.
Yeah, it's a Liberty for real whole time. Like, bro, it's a cool, positive atmosphere. I mean, sometimes you got people who be on that weird negative stuff, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? You keep that away from me, bro. I'm all about positive energy. But other than that, Liberty, that's what's up.
50-50. I like it. It's good. But then, like, you have people, like he just said, that's weird and do, like, off-the-wall type stuff. But, like, I'm a healing person. You know, I like to meditate, keep my body in shape, you know, exercise, you know. Yeah, that's what I like to do.
Yeah.
I feel it's kind of in the middle. They do good things and bad things, but life is all about duality, right?
So how would you describe kind of the good things Liberty does and the bad things Liberty does to the community?
It is positive for the most part because they're constantly building. You can go around pretty much almost a lot of corners and you just see their name plastered on certain buildings and whatnot. And quite frankly, that brings a lot of people to the actual community. So, yeah, positive.
I think it promotes the downtown area with all the college kids and everything, all the local businesses.
Yeah, gotcha.
It definitely brings a lot of revenue and a lot of foot traffic here to Lynchburg, which, as before, it's a good and a bad thing. I've never really been religious, so I've kind of distanced myself anyway because of that. But a church for profit, in my mind, is not the right thing. From a skateboarding perspective, at least, they let the indoor park go. They didn't even want to put 20 grand into it, which would have been all it needed and more. But that's the past.
Cool. Yeah, and what would you like to see in the future with the relationship between Lynchburg and Liberty?
And it's just one thing that like needs to change is like better stuff to do like around here, like activities, like
I guess seeing more of Liberty, like downtown maybe, in Lynchburg.
Yeah. After hitting the streets of Lynchburg and getting the opinions from other locals, I decided it was time to take it to a more academic level. So I went to several different universities to see what students and professors thought about Liberty University. So how would you describe the relationship between Lynchburg as a whole and Liberty University?
I think they're pretty, like, half and half. I think that this college and Liberty blends pretty well together. So as far as social aspects go, so yeah.
I think it's a pretty good relationship. So I'm on the swim team, and the swim team uses Liberty's natatorium, and I think it's good that we're able to kind of go over there and use some of that, and gives. I mean, we get to interact with the Liberty club team a little bit. Every year we swim their club team for the men's side, and then our women's team will swim their D1 women's team, and it's kind of like a fun little crosstown rivalry in a sense.
So I think the positive side, I guess, like I said, from friends in the community that I know who attend LCA, attend Liberty. I've had family who also attended Liberty, and I think I think they find good opportunities there. And as far as the negative from the community, I think it's more like almost a political thing, disagreement with political views and things like that at Liberty.
Liberty University has kind of like overtaken Lynchburg in like the past couple of years and things like that. It's more like about the college now than like more of like the city, I guess.
I would say so. I don't know how much connection there is, but between the two, but I would say it's good.
Probably negative. Nobody usually talks highly of Liberty. My mom went to Liberty, so it's a different perception coming in, but
I think it's been good for local growth and bringing a lot of money in the area and opportunities for people. From my perspective, at least, it's a mutually beneficial relationship, as Liberty has brought in, like I said, a lot of growth and opportunity to Lynchburg, and in turn, Lynchburg benefits from it. But I think some people, I don't know if everybody feels that way or not, some people may feel like Liberty buys too much stuff around here and intrudes on us a bit.
After hearing the views from different students and professors outside of Liberty, I decided it was important to get a more political take on things. So I interviewed Miss Stephanie Reed, mayor of Lynchburg, to see her stance on the issues.
We did see that there was kind of a separation in the supporters of Liberty and the non-supporters of Liberty for many different reasons. A lot of the reasons that have been mentioned, which is obviously the religious affiliation, and then there's just other, obviously people have different views of what they like and don't like about Liberty. But politically speaking, I obviously, because of my faith and agreeing with what Liberty stands on principally and faith-wise, obviously believe with the politics because it lines up with my biblical worldview. Yeah.
Okay, so in the political sphere that you're in, what would you say is the general feeling towards Liberty?
The political sphere that I'm in. So because I'm a conservative, then, majority of the conservatives, here in Lynchburg obviously support Liberty.
Yeah. Do you get a lot of kind of resistance from more liberal people in the area? Or is it more just like, we live with Liberty?
No, I would definitely say that it feels like the more liberal people in the city have a resistance to Liberty. But sometimes it really is just people just don't believe what Liberty stands for and the values that they represent. And so there are definitely more liberal people that just don't agree at all with what Liberty what they stand for. So it came up a lot when I was campaigning. People that would ask kind of my position on Liberty. They knew that I was a Liberty mom, so people would have opinions about that because they would want to know, well, then obviously you support Liberty, and people would say negative things, and then that would take me into having conversations as to why don't you support? Right now we did have Liberty, I know how generous Liberty is, and a lot of people in the city don't understand all that they do for our city, and the economic impact that they have on our city. I mean, the jobs they supply, how much that they give to our city, how much is spent in our city because of all the students that come here. You all come out and go shopping here and you eat here, and all the employees at Liberty live here and eat here and shop here, and that generates revenue for us, and that is a huge gift to the city. If Liberty wasn't here, we would be in a really bad place revenue-wise.
Okay, Mayor Reed, you are amazing, but I'm going to stop you right there. Let's talk a little bit more about the economic effect that Liberty has on the city of Lynchburg. A recent study just concluded that Liberty University adds an estimated $1 billion to the greater Lynchburg economy. Now, this may sound impressive, $1 billion with a B, but then you have to take in consideration that the Lynchburg area, its total GDP is only about $11 billion. meaning that Liberty makes up about 9% of the entire economy of the Lynchburg area. Okay, back to you, Mayor Reed.
So whether people agree with the principles that Liberty stands on or not, the economic impact Liberty has on our city is massive. So I talk to people about that. If you don't support their principles, at least appreciate that they are doing good things for our city economically.
So what I've kind of gathered is that some people really have a bad taste of Liberty. Specifically, people who have been here for a long time. It's because they think Liberty's so huge. It's bringing in so many people from out of town that it's almost in a way gentrifying Lynchburg. It's making it like Lynchburg's not Lynchburg. It's like it's Liberty in Lynchburg. What's kind of your reaction when you hear people talking about that?
So there are, I think this happens in every city or town, that you have people that want their city or town to stay as it was when they were little. You know, they don't ever want to see it grow or change, and there are people that just, they don't like change or growth. And so, you know, unfortunately, society changes and grows, and it's become we've become a college town. That's happened in every college town in America. If you go to University of Texas in Austin, if you go to Texas A&M, if you go to University of Alabama, you go to University of Florida, they did not all start out that size. They all started out, if you go to the original footprint of any major university in the country, they were not the size they are now when they started, and they ultimately grew to these massive sizes and took over their towns. And there's probably people in those towns and cities that complain about how big those universities are and how they can't get anywhere and whatever. All the young people, they're always in their space, and there's always, I imagine it's the same thing. So I don't think that we're probably unique to complainers about what Liberty's done to the city, but we just have the extra component of complainers about, because we're a Christian university, because of the affiliation to the name that people don't like, or again, rumors and all the stuff that has come along with it. But like I said, I imagine every college town has its group of people that.
So, after doing all these different interviews and talking to all these different people around Lynchburg, one thing became incredibly obvious, and that was you simply cannot separate Liberty from Lynchburg. I mean, it seemed like every single person I talked to either had a friend that goes to Liberty, just knew someone who worked on staff at Liberty. The two are just like, they're inseparable. And while there does seem to be a bit of a split on how people feel about the university in general, most of those negative feelings are more personal. They're not in the form of public policy or issues with how the university is managing its money. It's all more individual. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more like it, you can follow my Instagram, you can subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'll have the links in the description. Thanks for watching.